This is another model which I use in a number of my classes to demonstrate the challenges which people face based on root causes of social concerns and guiding values for seeking solutions. Whenever a pandemic hits, many people experience losses. We talked briefly about social graces. You can look at this in other activity. However, when we experience losses, there is a number of challenges we can have, and that's where usually some of the key concerns for societal problems come with trauma, greed, and indifference, which uh, takes away from people's right to self-determination, social justice, and service to humanity, which are foundational social values. People who might not sharing their resources, not caring about others, and experience mm, traumas after the losses happen. And again, loss can be emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, anything which someone consider a loss or not having. And we notice that those challenges which people face results in a number of oppressions, meaning some groups of people are uh, fighting oppressions based on their race, uh, based on their color of the skin. When you think about based on their gender, based on their age, on different levels, on individual within, on cultural level or structural level. So our goal is to think about what can be done to deal with that oppression. That's where those three other values come into importance. So in order to deal with greed, there is lots of ways to share resources, share knowledge, share abilities, and sometimes it can be done on individual level, but it also can be done on structural level, which is usually done through taxation, where people share resources and create services which benefit all society members. Trauma, in this case, is support with the law, with access to resources, with making sure that somebody experience loss and movement into the traumatic experience, then there is supports available to bring that love connection and what I always say, a critical hope of change. So love will allow this opportunity to when you create a loving relationship, and it can be on a much more broader uh, sense in professional relationship when we uh, exhibit social values, we are able to create conditions which make change happen. And the same happened with caring. We've seen people during the pandemic become supporting each other by using different activities to build that care part. And that's where we hope to see differences in the future. And that's how we build that love, care, share framework to deal with major challenges which people face, like trauma, greed, and indifference. So hopefully, this framework will allow us to see if there is a problem. It's usually will be rooted in one of those three things historically, and how we can create programs and supports to challenge existing uh, examples of greed, trauma, and indifference. And that's usually where love, care, and share comes. Think for yourself of any problems you might experience and how love, care, share allows you to resolve those problems. It can be on individual level, on cultural level, or structural level. So think about critical hope, and hopefully we will be able to learn a lot from pandemic social work to ensure the future of social work practice will be more focusing on love, care, and share, while we recognize there is still challenges of working with trauma, indifference, and greed. So let's see what the new balance look like. Keep learning and keep exploring how to promote love, care, and share in your life individually, culturally, and structurally.